But what I won't have anyone saying is that I was the reason for that.
No one said that.
You did.
No, I said that you egged it on. You did egg it on.
You said that I got him to repeat it in front of everybody. It wasn't. It was you, Matilda.
No, I didn't. I said you egged it on because you did.
I can't win with you, Harriet, and this is where I'm at with you.
No, Jess, I can't win with you.
First it was Mimi, then it was Harriet. Now it's Jessie with a Y. I don't get how the producers can honestly see this and continue to ignore it and turn a blind eye. Can they not see the problem with what's happening in the villa? Make it make sense? Because you have people bullying others and yet they get away with it. And the victims are the ones that are left picking themselves up. The fact that we have someone who was bullied badly in the villa, someone who was treated badly in the villa, being the one dumped, and the message that she's being dumped is read out by her bully. I don't even know what message the producers are trying to send. I really don't. I'm really stunned at the audacity and the fact that no one is calling them out or no one is reporting them to Ofcom that this is unacceptable. Yes, we enjoy the show, but we do not enjoy the abusive behavior. I'm sorry, nobody enjoys that. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island UK, Season 11, Episode 23. I think my neighbors think I've lost the plot because of the way I screamed. Anyway, Joey's a fool. Because how... the audacity to take someone to the terrace after saying he's not going to sneak around and then sneak around and sit on the floor and then proceed to kiss the girl doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. You have, Grace is at the fire pit. She's fuming and it's like, well, it's karma, love. It's karma, love. What you did to Samantha has come back to bite you in the bottom, and now you have to deal with it and feel the same way Samantha felt. Whether or not your feelings for Joey or whether his feelings for the two of you were the same is totally different because he's moved on to the next target. And it looks like Jessie with a Y is being cautious. I think she's sort of realized that this is who Joey is. She's going to make the most of it. If it gets a clout, hooray. If it doesn't, hooray. But at the end of the day, she knows that Joey will move on to the next shiny object. You have Nicole come and pull Matilda for a chat, and then they also pull Harriet. Harriet decides to go along. And for me, I don't guess why they pulled Matilda. Are they more afraid of Matilda, or they're trying to convince Matilda because they know Matilda is not on board with what they did, or are they really sorry? So the conversation starts, and I didn't like the way it carried on. I think the conversation should have been, and it was a day too late. I agree with, Harriet. They should have come. I'm sorry. I understand you feel like we took sides or I egged on Connor or that's your feeling. That was never my intention. I just took it for what it was. I took it as part of a game and I didn't realize how badly you would take it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have done that. But for Jessie to be defensive and then turn around when Harriet storms off and says, oh, Harriet can't fathom the fact that I had a connection with Ronnie first and that Ronnie was going to pick me. No, love, that's in your head. As much as you say that Harriet has it in her head that she's, you have beef with her. Ronnie used you so that he wouldn't be kicked out when Joey Essex picked Samantha. He didn't want to go home to be the first islander dumped, and that's why he used you to stay in the villa. He never really felt for you the way he felt for Harriet, because with Harriet on day one, he was making out in bed. He's been very protective of Harriet to the extent that he's actually had a sit down with Kieran to tell him that I'm not on board with what you did. You need to apologize to Harriet. So for you to think that Ronnie had something with you before Harriet, I'm sorry. Somebody needs to show you the light, because it seems you're not seeing the light. You are so stuck in your own head and in your own way of thinking. Whoever's hyped you and told you you're the prize has really made a mistake, because somebody needs to humble you. And it's a pity that none of the girls in the villa have decided to humble you. But I hope soon somebody humbles you and you realize that you're not the easy. But anyway, I digress. You have Joey come back from the terrace and he's sort of having a conversation with Jessie with a Y and sort of telling her that don't tell anyone that this is what we did upstairs, just keep quiet and let's not let anyone else know, because as long as the two of us are happy, that's fine. And yet he has the audacity to run and tell the boys that he made out with her. I don't get it. So why are you encouraging her to keep quiet? He doesn't want the girls to know, but he's happy for the boys to know and high five the boys. I don't get that. Yeah, the girls, the way they behaved, I didn't like it. They've started the bullying again. You had Uma and Grace in the kitchen, telling Mimi that, oh, Joey has taken Jesse with the Y to the terrace, and Mimi is one who has a degree in minding her own business unless it sort of interferes with her. So she just smiled and was shocked and was taken aback. Harriet left the group and came and joined the girls in the kitchen because she was fed up of that conversation, which I agree with her. She needed to remove herself because I don't think they were sorry. I think they were doing damage control. That's my opinion. You then have, because the girls have sort of been isolating her, Jessie with a Y ended up telling Trey the bombshell that she came with, that, because you were saying, oh, are you looking forward to going to bed and, kissing Mr. Essex? And she said, oh, it's already happened. And so it was sad that she couldn't even go upstairs until Grace had come out of the makeup room. And it's like, why are they making this girl uncomfortable? It's not her fault that she's come in and Joey likes her. Why guilt her for that? I hate that, and I wish they would address the bullying that's going on in the villa, because it's unacceptable for them to continue to turn a blind eyes and the producer to continue to pretend like nothing is happening. It needs to be addressed, and people need to be dumped because of being bullies. That's it. Anyway, the islanders get ready for bed, and you have Joey running to Trey to sort of say, don't tell anyone that, I kiss. And it's like, please make it make sense. Everyone gets into bed. Do I buy the I loves you between Nicole and Kieran? No, I don't. That's a toxic relationship. Very toxic. Sadly, it is. Kieran doesn't need to be in that connection. I don't know why. Joey, for someone who was telling everyone, don't repeat that we kiss. He's busy kissing, Jesse with a Y in bed, and it's like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Do you want people to know, or don't you want people to know? Grace wasted her opportunity with Connor, and sadly, I don't know whether she's going to be able to turn that ship round. Her only choice is to stay in the villa and hope for Casa, otherwise she might be going home. I'm surprised that Jesse and Trey appeared to have slept downstairs. Was there not enough space for them to put all the beds in there, or do they have a certain number of people that they can only put in a room? That didn't make sense. Anyway, in the morning, Jesse is still on cloud 9 because she was sort of asking Trey that, what happened on the terrace? Did they make out whatever? And Trey just rolled his eyes and said, I don't know. Trey, you can see, can't stand this woman. He can't. I think the incident with Harriet opened his eyes to a lot, but he's trying to humor her because that's his only way to stay in the villa at the moment. Anyway, so once the islanders get up, Joey goes and makes a coffee for Jesse because, she's the top at the moment. She's his number one priority. So I think he felt bad when he gave her the coffee. That's why he went and made Grace a green tea. Grace wasn't happy. She said he told her, she's his priority. So the audacity for him to go and make, a coffee for somebody else before her. And it's like, it's not that deep. It's just a drink. At least he's remembered to give you a drink. If you want to take it, if you don't. And for her to say in front of everyone that he told me that Jesse was just a friend, and it's like, okay, if that makes you feel better about yourself, do you? You have a debrief between Joey, Will, and Ronnie. Obviously, they're the ones he told about the case, and so he's sort of saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because of this situation. I'm very uncomfortable. I don't know how to move forward because I really like Jesse and I also like Grace. And so I think Jesse is more substantial in whatever their connection is as compared with Grace. I think with Grace, it's just the physical appearance. That's all he likes. Whereas with Jesse, I think there's an emotional sort of and the psychological connection there, as well as the way she looks. And so Jesse had a conversation with Jess, and she's told Jess about the case and in bed and on the terrace, and it's like, oh my god, you've told the motor mouth of the villa. She's going to spread it around this villa like wildfire because she can't keep a secret. Joey, I think, suspected that something was taking place, so he quickly ran over, and Jesse told him that, I told Jess about the terrace, and he was like, oh, okay, it is what it is. And he was told, you need to tell Grace because at the end of the day, she needs to know. Somebody else is going to tell her if you don't tell her. And it's like, you are going to tell her, Jesse. Don't pretend like, it's somebody else. You, Jess, are going to tell her. So just tell him, if you don't tell her, I will tell her. I'm surprised that given how much vim she had for Ayo, she doesn't seem to have the same vim for Joey, because with Ayo, she told him, you better run and tell Uma right now that you kissed Mimi in bed, otherwise I'll tell her. Yet for Joey, she's happy to say to him, okay, you do you, whatever you decide, but at the end of the day, you need to tell her. And it's like, Jess, this has nothing to do with you. Concentrate on your connection, and that's it. Next thing, she's opening her mouth and she's busy telling Nicole when she's been told, please don't spread this round. She's telling Nicole, and it's like, why are you telling Nicole and now leaving it on Nicole to keep it as a secret? It's now a wildfire in the villa, because the moment you were told, it scattered. The boys knew about it the night before. Everyone went to sleep and they didn't pass it round. The moment it's come to you, you've passed it round like a hot potato. Make that make sense? You can see Jessie with a Y is uncomfortable. Joey's trying to make her comfortable because the girls seem to sort of be isolating her. And for what reason, I don't know. This is the purpose of Love Island. If you're going to come here and be territorial, stay your ass at home. Stay your ass at home and keep your man to yourself. So Jessie eventually went and pulled Grace for a chat. And it's like, I don't even know why she's doing that. Why give respect to someone who is not respecting you? It's a bit rich for Grace to say you're being disrespectful to Jessie. It's a bit rich. She walked into the villa, Joey's eyes lit up. She was making out with Joey every single way. She never took time out to have a conversation with Samantha. So the audacity to come and say to somebody else, oh, you're being disrespectful to me, you shouldn't have kissed him. And it's like, she didn't kiss him. He kissed her. He took her to the terrace, knowing you wanted to kiss her. He kissed her in bed. She didn't jump on this man. Don't make it seem like he doesn't have a mind of his own. It's the audacity for me for her to sort of want to sort of turn things against somebody else. Why? Why are you now making her public enemy number one? Because the guy you thought you'd caught is no longer interested in you. He only used you to make out with in the villa, to have sex in the villa, and now suddenly you're grieved. Oh, it's me. Why is he doing this to me? Oh, please shut up. Please. We're not here for this. Please. Because you did the same thing when he was with Samantha. He's just doing the same thing. Now he's with Jessie on you. So you need to suck it up, buttercup, and move on. For her to be that disrespectful to Joey and say, oh, I'll speak to you later. Well, you spoke to him. He told you the truth. Well, when I sat with you at the fire pit, I wasn't sure where it was going. But once we left the fire pit and we went to the terrace, I realized, oh, there is a romantic connection there. That's it. That's it. He's been telling you. The moment he said to you, I had an in-depth conversation with her in 20 minutes than I've had with you. When you've been having sex every night with him in the villa, when he's been kissing you every other minute, that should tell you something, that to him, you're just a sexual object. And that's it. So it's up to you to decide, do you want to stay with this man or don't you? If you don't, keep it moving. That's it. And for her to storm off, oh, we're done. After she had sort of, blurted it out to the girls, oh, he's kissed her upstairs. And it's like, seriously, don't be childish. Don't be childish. When Samantha was breaking down and she was sleeping on the daybeds and everything else, you were enjoying yourself. You were on cloud 9. He's done the same thing to you. Suck it up, buttercup, and move it. And keep it moving. After all, you said this is not the first time he's done it. This is the second time. So it's up to you to learn your lesson or to keep carrying on. I like the fact that when the girl sort of isolated, Jessie with Y, Joey went and sat with her because I think he didn't feel that was right, because the girls were sort of, I don't know where Mimi was, because you had Nicole and Grace with Jess and Oma sort of having a conversation, and she was sort of telling the girls that, oh, he kissed her, he did this, and it's like, I don't get this thing of people saying, oh, don't worry, you're very beautiful. Beauty can only get you so far before everything else sort of shows and people are put off. So the audacity for these girls to keep hyping each other, oh, you're stunning, you got a banging body. Beauty can only take you so far, and that body, the banging body, can only get you so far before people are put off. So the idea that people are impressed by the fact that, oh, you look stunning. Yes, you look stunning, but what lays underneath the stunning appearance is what matters the most. Because you find some guys with some of the most ugliest girls and you think, what the hell is going on here? And it's because there's more to those people than what you see as beauty, and everybody doesn't always equate beauty to physical appearance. Anyway, I digress. So you have finally the conversation between Mimi and Ayo. We barely see them. We've barely seen them just having a conversation outside of the situation with Uma. And I think because Uma and Ayo have said that's completely over, this is why we've suddenly started seeing Mimi and Ayo. And they're having a conversation because Mimi's asking, so are you still open to getting to know other people? Do you still sit there and say, "Oh, when a new bombshell comes in, this is what I'm going to do?" And she's within her right to ask him because she's seen what Joey has done and she doesn't want to be blindsided. So she would rather he tell her, I'm still open. If someone that's my type walks in, I'm willing to explore that. And he's, oh, well, I want to live for the moment. Live for the moment and you're going to cry, buddy. You better start planning for the future because this is an amazing girl. And you've seen how amazing she's been and how amazing she's sort of behaved and sort of moved around the villa. If you compare her to how some of the other girls have behaved, she is miles apart. When you were going about with Uma, she never once alienated Uma. She never once sort of interrogated Uma. She could have easily done that, but she didn't. And it's sadly, none of the other girls could take a page out of that. They've all behaved in such a way that is shocking. So for Ayo, I think he knows he likes Mimi very much. But I think he's also afraid that his heart is going to be broken, and this is why maybe he doesn't want to sort of commit to her and is still trying to remain open just in case she sees someone that she likes and she decides to explore things. And so I think this is why he is sort of pretending like, oh, I'm living day by day, but I think it's more self-protection than anything else. So you have Sean and Matilda having a conversation, about what they like. They didn't speak about languages, but they sort of physically what they like, how they like to be touched or kissed. And for me, that subject was unnecessary, really, because the vocabulary for Sean is very minimal, to say the least. And so I don't even know when he does speak. It's so annoying and infuriating. Maybe it's because I feel some type of way because I feel like he cheated in order to win Matilda by getting rid of Oma. So I really don't like him, and I think with Matilda she's just humoring him because she has no other choice but to like him. And so I don't know how long that's going to last. I really don't know how long that's going to last because that's not necessary. Anyway, you have Jess and Nicole have a conversation by the fire pit about Kieran saying I love you, and it's like, yeah, he said I love you, but I don't even know why he bothered, because at the end of the day that relationship is going nowhere. For as long as she's insecure and she keeps accusing him of stuff and keeps throwing a fit, it's not going to go anywhere. Even when she was telling him, it was nice that you told me I love you, now I feel better. And it's like, you feel better for now. Let a kissing challenge come or let a bombshell come in and you're going to start again. So it's pointless to even think about this connection and think about what's happening here. I'm not buying it. You have the girls then get ready for the night, and Grace is still going on and on about Joey. And the thing that shocks me the most is the same people that were consoling Samantha when she was crying about Joey and Grace are the same people that are now consoling Grace. And it's like, who are you loyal to? Who is your allegiance to? Because when it was Samantha, you made it seem like you couldn't stand Grace. Now it's Grace. You can't stand Jessie with a Y. Make it make sense. And for Grace to be allowed to continue to say these horrible things about, Jessie with a Y doesn't make sense. I love that Joey continues to reassure her and make her feel comfortable. But at the same time, as much as Grace's feelings are hurt, she shouldn't continue to treat somebody else like dirt. That's not acceptable, and I don't get why Love Island doesn't nip in the bud when the girls start behaving in this way. Anyway, all the girls go and pick up their drinks, and the girls sit down for Nicole to tell them that Kieran said he loves her. So the islanders receive a text message to gather around the fire pit. To say I'm confused with the result is an understatement. Really, it's an understatement, because I think it's either one of two things. It's either Harriet was tired of being bullied by Jess and she offered to go, or the producers saw the backlash from the viewers and decided to get rid of Harriet instead of getting rid of Jess. That's the only thing I can think of, because I would rather watch Harriet and her little sort of little tantrums than watch someone who is just evil, just for the sake of being evil. I'm sorry. So you had the islanders gather around the fire pit and the bottom three were announced. Was I surprised with who was in the bottom three? I think the only couple that I didn't expect was Ronnie and Harriet. I think I would have expected Sean to be in the bottom three, definitely with Matilda. But to say that, Harriet and Ronnie deserve to be in the bottom three doesn't make sense. And the fact that with Harriet and Ronnie, they were dumped as a couple, whereas other people were the islanders were given an option to choose who to dump. I don't get why they were the ones that they decided to dump. This is why I'm going to stick to it. I think the producers saw the backlash about people complaining that Jess was bullying Harriet, and instead of dealing with the bullying situation, they decided to get rid of the person who was being bullied. That way they silenced the conversation, and it's like, so would you rather keep Jess being evil to other islanders and get rid of someone who is just there enjoying herself and just throwing tantrums, which is to be expected for someone her age? I preferred her tantrums, I'm sorry, as compared to some of the other islanders, so I don't get why they sent her home. For them to have Jess read the message to say, Harriet and Ronnie, you've been dumped, I didn't like it. I like the fact that we didn't see Ronnie sort of have a goodbye with Jess, because I think to him, he has nothing to say to her. He's told her we're done, and that's it. He's ready to move on. And so for her to come and say, oh, Harriet, is there anything that we have upstairs that you need? And Harriet, I give her kudos for not answering her, because it's like, why are you being nice to me now that I'm leaving when you've made my life miserable in all the weeks that I've been in the villa? Why? I think there's only one of two reasons why Harriet and Ronnie were dumped. I think it's either because Ronnie had stopped playing games, so the producers didn't really have a storyline for him, or the fact that people were complaining that Harriet is being bullied by Jess. And instead of resolving the bullying situation, the producers decided to get rid of the victim instead of getting rid of the bully. That's my opinion, and I'm going to stick to it. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 22. Bye guys.